Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use Make.com AI to create an automated quotation generator which you can use in your business. I'm going to show you exactly how this automation works and give you a step-by-step guide on how you can create it. This quoting tool has allowed my clients to get a customized automated quotation over to their customer within 5 minutes of meeting them, just by using their mobile phone. Let's get into it. Firstly, I'm just going to run through a quick demo exactly how this automation tool works. So this here is make.com, where we'll be linking all the modules together to create the quotation. The quotation starts with a Google form, so which you need to fill in. So this was being built to be filled in by yourself, the electrician. This is you could make an automated proposal, which could be on your website and then an email sent directly to your client. But this has been done in the idea that you would go see your client and then straight after get back in the van and fill out this form. So we just put in some basic data. So go with the old Apple, John Apple Smith. That's Apple Seeds. I need to put in my email so it goes to my email account rather than just a random account. Tradespeople.com. Kind of address, so go 25 Spark Lane, Stoneville, England. Let's go SP 12J7K, just a made up address. Even if we miss out on capital letters, the Make.com automation will pick that up and replace them with capitals. Job reference doesn't really mean anything, so let's do quote or quo 007. Let's give a quick description. So let's go with installation of a car with a EV car charger. So I've asked for it to give locations on exterior garage wall, and let's go for three new downlights in kitchen. Well, let's add one more. 3 double sockets added to bedroom. Let's just make it a bit more fancy. USB compatible. Compatible? Yeah. Right, so this I need to give it the exact materials and the amount of them, and that will auto go into the quote. So 1 times, let's go for a lightning, whatever that means, EV car charger, which would cost, let's give it, I don't know, some big number, 1249.95. Sounds about reasonable. And then we also have 3 times, let's go LED down lights, and let's put them at, I don't know, £22.50 each. And finally, we have 3 times, let's go USB double sockets, which would equal £28. Let's go 55. That seems about reasonable. So in this quotation, I've built it so the labor cost inputted by you. But again, we could also automate this. So if you wanted, let's say, a certain amount of day rate, a certain amount of hour rate, this could all be put into the automation. In this case, let's just say, let's go 850, and then we'll submit the form. So now we'll go back to this automation. So we open it again, and then we'll run it. So you can have it set so it's automatically picks them up, but because I'm testing it still, I've got it set so I still have to click to run it. So we click run once. You'll see the information will work its way through each of the modules. So these are the 4 ChatGPT modules. Then it creates a Google document template, downloads it, which creates a PDF, uploads it to an email. So in a couple of seconds, it should send the email back to myself. So we just give it a moment. It just takes a little bit longer. So now the automation is completed. We can go and check my emails. As we see, an email has come in. I just opened it. Hi, John. Please see the attached quotation. If you have any further questions, feel free to give me a call. Many thanks, Luke. You see, it's also split the first name from the first and the surname. We also have our quotation attached. So John Appleseed's quotation with today's date. If you open it, if you see it's all been formatted correctly. So we have my made up company, John Appleseed, Spark Lane's been filtered down properly. As you see, it's added the capital letter. Dear John, here is our initial estimate for the electrical work at your property. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And then it's installation of a car EV charger will be carried out at the exterior garage wall. All relevant circuits will be checked before and after install. Ensure they are safe and compatible with handling additional load. In the kitchen, there are 3 downlights will be installed. In the kitchen, 3 downlights will be installed, ensuring proper placement for optimal lighting coverage. In the bedroom, 3 new double sockets with USB compatibility will be added and positioned as required for convenient access. Once all work is complete, final testing will be conducted to confirm that all electrical installations are functioning correctly and safely. And as you see underneath, it's labeled out things. So 1 electric EV charger at this price, 3 LED downlights at that price, and 3 USB double sockets at this price. Now, I know most electricians don't generally put on the individual cost of each material, so this could just be collected up and put into one. And also this has it so it shows the individual costs rather than 3 times 22.50, but that all can be changed. The all labour work has been formatted, so it went from 815, it's added the pound sign and .00, and then the subtotal and the VAT has all been calculated by the AI, and the total was then put below. So because the one is slightly longer, it put it down to 2 pages, but that's with the quotation. I haven't done much formatting with the text here, so there's easily room for it to always land on one page. So the best way I think would be show you exactly how this works is to run through the process of how I created it by showing you each of the modules and what's in the modules. So we start with the quotation form. Once that's filled out, it gets uploaded to a Google Sheet. This is set up automatically by Google, so I haven't created this. So Google fills out all the responses for me. So these are my previous responses. Then I use make.com, which is my tool for putting this all together. So we have a watch new sheets row, and that basically has the linked path to this Google Sheet. And then when a new response is added, so if I run it once, so there's no new responses since we last run it, but we can also go through and choose where we want to start it from. So if we want to test it again, we could click one of the old responses. But this can be set up so it will also run as soon as a quote is received. So you don't have to open make.com every time to set it off. So this is the next module, which is the address structure, which is just create a completion from a ChatGPT prompt. To find this, you just click on OpenGPT and then create a completion. So inside this module, once it loads, we have GPT-4's latest. So I have an OpenAI account, which I've put funds onto, and it runs off that. I found the best way to prompt is by teach the system. So we start with developer system and you're saying you are a smart, intelligent admin assistant. We then go on to the user prompt, which is your job is to structure an address from a simple string into a list string using -n, which is JSON for new line. To separate each part, you'll be given an address. Your job is to convert it to a structured JSON format. Input is a simple string in this format: street, address, town, city, country, or county, country, postcode. Instructions are split the input into its component based on commas, remove any white space from each component, ensure all places names, town, city, country, county, start with a capital letter and the postcode letter always in uppercase. If any component is missing, do not include it in the JSON output. If a house name is provided along with a house number, include both as a single string. Sorry, the way that make.com moves the letters really messes up with my dyslexia. So we want to return the address in this JSON structure, which is below. And if you don't understand JSON, I use ChatGPT to generate this, so don't have a worry. And then I like to give the ChatGPT prompt some examples of how it could run. So we give it a user prompt and saying that what if we entered 123 Cat Lane, Stonetown, England, the system would output the address in this format. And then I wanted to give it one example if there was no house number, but there was a house name, so like the big house, Straw Lane, Sugarstone, and then the assistant would output this address. And now the last user prompt is what is the client address, which basically it can only take from the module before it. So we have client address. So we just click on the client address, and then whatever this picks up will get put into this module. And then we always want to export as a JSON object. The next module is the quote description. So again, develop a system. You are an intelligent and smart writing assistant. Your job is to write a full description, which will be put onto a quote and sent directly to the client. You will be given previous examples. The input will be a short description of the project. Your job is to add necessary details, which will be shown in the examples. The output needs to be written in plain English with no frill, and do not add any emojis. Make sure all spelling and punctuation is correct and in English. Only give reasoning for an installation of an item that requires a safety standard or has been mentioned in the input description. Now, I found with ChatGPT, the more information, the more details, the more straight you are with it, the better the results. So there's less likely it can go off path and get confused. So here are my examples below. So for my user prompt, which would be me putting in this item, installation of 3 double sockets with USB ports in the kitchen. And then my example answer would be all electrical work required and so on. You can, if you want to read this, just pause it because it messes with my head trying to read it with the with the cut off lines. And then another one, user installation of security alarms and cameras to be installed in the exterior of the building. In all school locations, all circuits checked before and after installation circuits checked. And then it reads through again. So again, if you want to pause it and have a read, just have a read. And then I think I gave it one more example, installation of EV charger, exterior wall, and this. Okay, there is one more after this. So full house rewire, circuits checked, remove of all cables, new consumer unit. And I give a much longer description. So these can be modeled basically on your most common quotation examples. So if you do have a lot of one thing, it's probably best to use this. But we can add as many as we like, pretty much. There's not really a limit. So ChatGPT tokens are very cheap. I think every time I run this, it uses less than a penny worth. So we can add as many examples as we like. And then the final prompt is the user, which is we're adding in the information we found from the original quote. As you see now, because we are one module ahead, we can take stuff from the module behind us. The next module is for picking all the materials using a ChatGPT completion again. So we just open this up. Again, latest system, always the best thing to use. And once it loads, again, you're a smart, intelligent quote writing assistant. So this one's a little bit more complicated. So take the material list you've been given and export it in JSON formatting. You must output a JSON array containing 4 objects. So because we want more than one object to be brought out of this in JSON, I need to give it an array. So I won't read through this, but if I just give it a gentle scroll, you can read through and pause. So you'll see I'm giving it lots and lots of information, all of the information I possibly could need. This part at the bottom is because sometimes when it generates JSON, it creates this, it puts this at the start because it's generating it through ChatGPT. So I just put that at the end just to catch anything that could go wrong. And then this time we've just got user straight away and the materials for this job, which obviously takes from this one. The next part is the calculations module. So we open this up again. So again, create completion, ChatGPT 4. 4 is the most common by the time this video comes out, or you watch this in the future. There might be later systems, but it's currently the best system you can get through ChatGPT. Smart writing assistants, and this is to calculate the final cost for the quotation before it's sent to the client. I always used to like adding sent to the client in because I feel like the ChatGPT thinks it's more important because it knows it's being sent directly to the client. So I just drop through this slowly. So I'm using abbreviations like labor costs. That's part of the final output. So again, if you're not that familiar with JSON, I use ChatGPT to write this, so it's not particularly hard. And this part again. And then at the bottom, we want 2 inputs this time. So we've got material cost and we've got labor cost, which are both picked up in part of this. So now all the ChatGPT modules are over and we've got all the information we need. We just need to put it into Google Doc. So here we've got a Google Doc template. I'll show you exactly what this looks like. So this is what a template looks like. Each of the curly brackets are like a JSON block. So we have my fake stuff, which doesn't change any time. Obviously the quotation doesn't change and I've got it set. So this part is always the same. Now, so we got reference number, quote date, client name, client address, client first name, quotation block, quantity, item, price, all work, labor cost, sub, total, VAT, and total. Now, if you're wondering how I've laid this out to make sure that it always stays in line, if I just select all this text and put the black line on, as you can see, I've used lots of different tables so everything is spaced and moved correctly. Just cover that back over. Now, this quotation was built in Google Docs, but if you use a different software already, like QuickBooks or Panda Docs, it all can be through an API. We can push it all into that software. But yes, for this example, just to keep the cost down, I'm using Google Docs. So we can tailor this to exactly how your quotation currently looks. So this is my template. So if we go back to make.com, as you see, for each of the place where we have a curly bracket, so reference number, date, client name, client address, you see it shows up as a value. And then we can put whichever item we like into that value. If you're wondering what these two are, I'm using tools within inside of make.com to format information that I've already got. So now it just takes the current date and time. Now we have to format the date because otherwise it comes out in this crazy structure that basically no one understands. I think it's basically make.com's own system. So if you see it's like day, minute, year, hour. But sometimes it just comes out quite random, or it can be obviously American format. So I just write it structured, so month, day, year. So that will say like February 25th, 2025. And down here, we've got a way of splitting up the name. So this is also quite confusing. So we've got a get function and a split function. The main point of this is we've got a first name and surname. So John Appleseeds. So it takes that and it splits them up by a space. So it splits John space Appleseeds. And then we want the first value, which is John. So the rest of them are pretty normal. These are all the forms in the quotation. And then we've got the same here with the naming. We want client's full name, quotation, that's my words, and then format date, And then it also saves the quotation in a new location. Now, when we send this quotation to the client, we obviously don't want to send it in Google Doc format because they'll be able to edit it and then there's no proof of who sent what. So we have a Google Drive download a file function. And once that opens, basically what it does, it corrects the document ID. So basically, when this creates a document, it gives a document ID. We then say convert Google Docs file to PDF, and it'll pick up this Google Doc from the folder and then download it as a PDF. And then we can attach that PDF straight to this email. Now, this is the email module. So I have it sent from my email I sent it currently to the client email, but I put in my own email just so it doesn't go off somewhere random. Now, currently the email module sends the quotation directly to the client, but we can change that setup so it sends it to the draft so you can have a quick look at it before it's sent off. It sort of keeps the human in the loop system so you actually see what's going off before it goes. So here we have subject, so my fake Luke Electrics quotation company. The formatted date in the same way before. Now, instead of we want this in plain text, but you can format it to HTML if you want special spacing. I think it's just easier to put in plain text. Hi, and then it splits the first name again. Please see the attached quotation. For any further questions, feel free to give me a call. Many thanks, Luke. So take the file ID from here and attach it to the email. Now, because make.com is a customizable tool, we can change any part of this structure to any details, to any looking quotation. As I said, I can use other tools. And let's say you used QuickBooks or ServiceMate or another tool. We can just come in here. Let's go for QuickBooks. And then we have all these different, so create an invoice, obviously it can be uploaded straight to the software. Look at them all. There's loads of different options there are out there. Pretty much everything can be automated. And that is the same with tools like ServiceMate. So here we can link them so we can, like, let's say get a job or list jobs, and everything can be automated and merged together. Further to the customizability, we can swap up the Google Docs with Google Slides if you have a more, fancy and multi-page document. Now, if your company needs some help with AI automation, I'm happy to help. This link will be in the top part of my description. Click on a link and you can book a free AI opportunity audit with me. 30 minutes, we'll just run through your business, see what the bottlenecks are and see what can be automated. Alternatively, if a call is not for you, my WhatsApp link will be in the description. So just drop me a message on there and I'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching my video. Cheers.